days.
And to enlighten us more on this, may we request the Secretariat to please show on the screen and para ma-enumeration tayo kung ano yung regular holidays, why is it important, special regular, the special non-working holiday, and special working holidays, just for the information of everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we are proposing that the regular non-working holidays be kept to 4. So that's the Bangsamoro Foundation Day by virtue of Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 13, or the Bangsamoro Administrative Code, setting the Foundation Day on January 21st of each year and considering the same as a regular non-working holiday. We also have the Eid al-Fitr and the Eid al-Adha, which are both movable dates, depending on the sighting of the moon for Eid al-Fitr, and of course the Eid al-Adha, depending on the Hijri calendar. Next is the Day of Shuhada, which covers or encapsulates all of the significant days under March 18 and others, such as the declaration of the Bansalan Declaration. We also have the commemoration of the Jabida incident. We also have the Buddaho, the Battle of Buddaho, Battle of Bayang, Mr. Speaker. So Day of Shuhada is Day of the Martyrs, translated, Mr. Speaker. And then for special non-working holidays, Day of Arafah during 9th of Dhul-Hijjah, and the first day of 11th day of Dhul-Hijjah, which is the day after the celebration of Eid al-Adha, which would allow Muslims to celebrate the Eid al-Adha for 3 days. The Day of Arafah, the Eid al-Fitr itself, and first day of Tashriq, because we have come to know that this is the period of jubilation for Muslims and family merrymaking. And then we have special working holidays, Mr. Speaker, which would include the holidays identified in PD 1083, Bangsamoro Day of Solidarity every February 1st, the Battle of Buddahu Day, commemoration of the signing of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro, the Battle of Bayang Day, Sheikh Karimul Makdum Day, Sharif Kabunsuan Day, commemoration of the signing of the Tripoli Agreement, or the 1996 Final Peace Agreement, Mr. Speaker, and the Bangsamoro Indigenous Peoples Thanksgiving Day on the day of the enactment of the Indigenous Peoples Code, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And just for the information of everyone, when we say a regular holiday, what is the implication of having a regular holiday and also with special non-working holiday and special working holiday? May we know from the proponent, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, the implication would be for regular non-working holidays in the private sector, those who still go to work during a regular non-working holiday would have to be paid 200% of the wage or compensation or salary, while one who still goes to work during a special non-working holiday, the pay would be 130% of the daily wage. And for special working holidays, of course, we will still be going to work, but the Bangsamoro government and the person involved would have to celebrate or commemorate the day on a manner befitting said occasion, Mr. Speaker. If you look at the committee report, we also included a provision that would mandate or direct all ministries in the BARM to formulate activities in relation to the day to be celebrated or commemorated, Mr. Speaker.
One last question, Mr. Speaker. We all know that the local government units also celebrate special days in commemoration of the founding anniversaries and similar historical celebrations with local government units. May we know if that celebrations of local government units and is the local government units covered by this bill? And second is, did this bill capture the celebration of the local government units?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the bill would cover local government units in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. As relayed during the committee meetings of the Committee on Rules, there is a DILG opinion that local government units do not have the power to declare holidays. So that is why we included them here. And there is a provision that states in case of a local special holiday celebrating its founding anniversary, the respective sanggunian, panlalawigan, panlungsod, bayan of the local government unit concerned shall, by a resolution endorsed to the office of the Chief Minister, the proclamation of the same as a special holiday, Mr. Speaker.
And may we know if there are localized proclamations or special non-working holidays of the LGUs that may be recognized also by the Bangsamoro government?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, there is a provision that would allow localized proclamation of special non-working holidays depending on the specific local government unit, and only on based on those holidays that are enumerated under Section 5C or the special working holidays. And this would entail a recommendation from the Bangsamoro Commission for the Preservation of Cultural Heritage, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And the appropriate time, I have proposed amendment with regards to that specific provision. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
MP Attorney Shak Pastura is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To the majority floor leader, I'd like to propose some questions. First of all, how does the bill reconcile national holidays with regional holidays?
Mr. Speaker, the national holidays that are already observed, Mr. Speaker, will still be recognized and observed, Mr. Speaker. We only speak of regional holidays, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to know how do we reconcile the major national holidays with the regional holidays in terms of the determination? Because in the case of the Al-Hijjah and Al-Fitr, it is the president that proclaims that those national holidays with the recommendation of the NCMF. So it's considered a national holidays. We are under it. So what happens, Mr. Speaker, if the determination of the regional holiday for Al-Hijjah or Al-Fitr is different from the determination of the president or the proclamation of the president?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Speaker. In that case, Mr. Speaker, the regional holiday in the BARM, depending on the recommendation of the Bangsamoro Mufti to the Chief Minister, will also be observed. In that case, Mr. Speaker, there will be two holidays to be observed: the national holiday, if it falls on a different date, and the regional holiday that we will declare in the BARM, Mr. Speaker.
So that would mean in those cases, there would be 2 days, for example, of Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so anyway, in other countries, sometimes it's 3 days, 5 days. So I understand that there might be circumstances like that. But what about its implications for our companies? If that happens, they will have to still honor the obligation to pay their workers compensation at a much higher rate?
Yes, that is correct, Mr. Speaker. Upon consultation with representatives coming from the business sector during the focus group discussion, I gather that they actually do not mind if that ever happens, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. The intent of the law is to limit, the way I see it, is to limit the number of actual holidays, meaning that where we will have no work. Is that the intent of the law?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, to regulate the observance also, Mr. Speaker.
Because of the the reasoning that we already have too many holidays at the national level, and then we have to reduce the regional holidays where we don't work. Is that the logic and the reason behind the bill?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So on top of the 10 holidays, minus Idul Fitr and Idul Adha, how many holidays have we added where we actually don't have to work?
Just 2 more days, Mr. Speaker, the day of Arafah and the first day of Tashriq, Mr. Speaker.
So those are the only 2 holidays where we have no work
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
on top of the national holidays.
Well, the Bangsamoro, those are the 2 new ones. The Bangsamoro Foundation Day is already found in the Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 13. So that's already provided for by law. And the Day of Shuhada, which used to be the Bangsamoro People's Day, Mr. Speaker.
It's the day of
Freedom
Shuhada.
Day, Bangsamoro Freedom or People's Day, March 18, Mr.
So for the record, that was not mentioned that we also have other holidays in other legislation. How many holidays does BARM have now, excluding Idul Adha and Idul Fitr, which are national holidays?
Excluding national holidays,
Hindi,
Mr. Speaker.
I mean, including, of course, the 10 national holidays, which includes Idul Fitr and Idul Adha. How many other holidays does the BARM have in this bill as well as in other legislation?
23, Mr. Speaker.
Non-working holidays.
23, Mr. Speaker.
Non-working holidays. So that means for this bill, we only limited it to additional holidays.
Actually, Mr. Speaker, it would seem that well, we have reduced the number, but replaced 2 which used to be non-working with 2 new ones, which are the day of Tashriq and the day of Arafah.
May I know the logic, Mr. Speaker, why we did include or at least repeal those other laws and put all those holidays in just one bill? Because it's very confusing. Now I only realize that there are other legislation which declares holidays, but it's not in this holiday bill.
Mr. Speaker, the bill also proposes to repeal Muslim Mindanao Act number 17, which used to be the holidays law of the ARMM, Mr. Speaker.
I'm only talking about non-working days, non-working holidays, because you said there were other legislation that declared non-working holidays, including the Bangsamoro Freedom Day, and what's the other one? Is it there in the holiday bill?
Yes,
Are
Mr.
they?
Speaker.
So this will be a comprehensive holiday bill?
Yes, Mr.
Is that
Speaker.
is my understanding correct?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So that 23 holidays is listed. Can we just flash it?
Well, the 23 holidays, Mr. Speaker, include national holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my confusion is there are other holidays in other legislation, and you said that they are not yet there, or are they already included in that bill?
Already included or repealed, Mr. Speaker, by this bill.
And which are those holidays?
Muslim Mindanao Act number 17 and Muslim Mindanao Act number 23296, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you for that. So let me just repeat. This is a comprehensive holiday bill. There's no other law that we'll have to look into in determining whether there's a holiday or non-holiday in the BARM.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the proclamation by the President will serve as the national working holiday for purposes of observance in the nationally, including the BARM, and then this is for the regional holidays. Yes, the answer is yes, Mr. Comprehensive, Mr.
Okay.
Speaker.
So you notice there that the PD 1083 holidays are now considered working holidays. Working holidays.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So how will that impact our relations with our neighbors, particularly Region 12 and Region 9, who have holidays under PD 1083?
Yes. Okay.
Will there not be incongruity because this Region 12 and Region 9 are areas also with a lot of Muslim population. So in those cases, it is regions. There is a holiday under PD 1083, but in the case of BARM, there's none.
So let me answer that by saying that the 5 Islamic holidays in the PD 1083 are the Maulid an-Nabi, Isra wal Miraj, Amun Jadid, Eid al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha. So we're talking
There's
about
5.
yeah.
Right.
So but basically just 3, no? Because the Eid
Yes.
al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr will
National
be
holidays.
yeah.
Yes.
So the 3, Mr. Speaker, the committee has discussed that it would be beneficial to Muslims in general in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao to have them declared as special working holidays so that we could use the days to educate our people about the life and works of the Prophet and other beneficial activities that the Bangsamoro government could conduct in relation to the holiday being celebrated or commemorated, Mr. Speaker.
So that's why they are treated as working holidays.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so in effect, we are repealing PD 1083.
In effect, Mr. Speaker, we are actually not repealing 1083, but we are adopting, Mr. Speaker, in a different manner, Mr. Speaker.
But the PD 1083 says it's a non-working holiday or an official holiday. Actually, that's a bit vague, but actually in practice, it's non-working holiday because Muslims are even exempt from working, especially in government, from working during those holidays. And this is adopted by the different provinces under the guidance of NCMF. But with this holiday law, in effect, we are actually changing the parameters of that law.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, on the basis of the authority of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, which mandates the Bangsamoro Parliament to enact the holidays law, Mr. Speaker.
So that's an admission on your part that it indeed repeals basically the essence or the content of PD 1083 with regard to how that holiday is supposed to be implemented.
Yes, we recognize that the same should be observed, but in a different manner, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so my last question would be let me just look at my notes. The manner of declaring the holidays. May we be given an explanation of the manner on how the holidays are going to be implemented through a proclamation, or is it automatic that there'll be already understanding that there's going to be a holiday?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. So there is a provision in the proposed bill, Mr. Speaker, in the committee report that talks about annual proclamation of holidays and special holidays by the Chief Minister. It reads, the Chief Minister shall issue a proclamation on or before December 31st of each year, declaring the regular and non-special holidays, regular and special